When it comes to playing video games, I have been pretty set in stone on what piques my interest and what I want to dedicate my time in playing. I like to classify myself as a casual gamer for the most part. I enjoy playing games, but I'm someone who tends to lose interest at certain points and usually drops the game once that happens. As long as the game holds my interest, I will usually try to do everything it has to offer between side quests, collectibles, achievements, or even trophy hunting, but it's very rare for a game to make me fully complete the game. But since I have begun streaming on Twitch, I have felt the need to go outside of that comfort zone and to try games I probably wouldn't play in my spare time, or games that I heard good things about from friends or possibly other YouTubers, but have just never given it the proper try. A game like Cult of the Lamb hits both of those fields, as it is a game of the roguelike genre, which is a category of game that I don't have a lot of experience in, and it's a game I have heard great things from friends and from other content creators since this game's release last year. With that being said, I decided to set myself a goal for this game, and most games that I will play on stream and possibly review on this channel, and that is to at least finish the main story and talk about that and what the game made me feel the want to complete more or lack thereof. So the main way that I'm going to base my score at the end is how much I want to complete in the game. If I feel the want to fully complete the game, it's going to get a higher score. It's mainly just an entertainment thing, but if I'm forcing myself to just finish the storyline just to be done with the game on stream, it's going to get a lower score. I'm going to break this review down into a few parts. The story, and then the crusade and combat part, base building, and then the conclusion with how I would rate it. The story in video games is always something that is hard to reel me in as a casual gamer. Sometimes it can be too much or cutscenes take too long, and I catch myself mashing the A or X button to skip through so that I can just go back to actually playing. In that regard, I didn't do that as much in Cult of the Lamb. A part of it is due to the personality it gives to all of its characters, and the fact that each time they have a cutscene or a bishop interrupts you in combat, it is very short and sweet. They really just get their point across of what you, the character, are going to be dealing with. The only time I would catch myself skipping is the random encounter involving some dialogue, but even then I would find myself interested mainly due to the voices of each character. The main thing I want to tell you, the viewer, about the story, but not to spoil anything important for you, is that you're a possessed lamb, and you were sacrificed by the 4 bishops, and the one who waited saves you and provides you with the red crown to build a cult in his name to take down the 4 bishops to bring him back. Apart from a few other points of lore that you'll get from NPCs, that is the main driving force that keeps you going on in the game. There are multiple side quests given to you by NPCs from the various areas you can visit or by your cultists you bring in under your rule. After completing these quests, you are gifted either loyalty to your cult members or one of 4 pieces of an amulet to redeem for different fleeces you can wear to change how you would play in a crusade. When you decide to go on a crusade, you have the option of choosing between 4 different locations, each ruled by a different bishop. After you enter a different location, you will be placed in a randomly generated dungeon to go through, and then you come upon a map with different paths to choose from. After being shown your map, you will get the option to choose from various different areas, including places that will reward resources, health, tarot cards, followers, mystery rooms, and of course other dungeons to venture through with multiple generated rooms. Each room in a dungeon that you choose to go through could be a fight with various amounts and kinds of enemies. These fights could be against a tough variety, or could be almost a rest, as you only have to defeat 1 or 2 enemies. After clearing a fight, you will be rewarded with either coins for the most part, resources for your base building, tarot cards to help you for the rest of your crusade, as well as weapons, among other things. Apart from fighting, there are various other rooms that you can enter, including rooms that let you choose tarot cards, curses, or weapons to help you on this current crusade. There are various amounts of different rooms that can help you on the current crusade, or even helping you outside managing your cult. At the end of each map is a dungeon that at the end of it will be a mini boss fight, and that boss will turn into a cute new follower after you defeat it, and you can bring him to your cult. How sweet. Beating these 3 will unlock a 4th map where the boss fight will be against one of the 4 bishops. After defeating one of the bishops, that will make you eligible to unlock a new location. Each new location has a minimum number of followers you need in your cult to have in order to enter said location to hunt down a new bishop. When it comes to the crusade portion, I really enjoyed this part of the game. The multiple combinations of weapons, curses, and tarot cards you can receive in a crusade helps combat from becoming stale, as part of your playstyle can change depending on what combination you get, and then what you actually get to choose from. Not to mention the random maps that are generated really gives you the option of what to prioritize, getting stronger in the current crusade that you're in, or to get followers and resources for your base building. In between each crusade, you'll be sent to your base to set up and manage your cult. Each member you recruit, you can customize their looks and names. I use this as a way to interact with my chat to let them name almost every new member. Each member also has randomized traits that can be good or bad for you and your cult. You also have a range of buildings to be built. These of course can generate resources like wood and stone, or be an area to plant and manage your crops. Stations to cook food for your members who will be hungry, and other buildings that can help your base or your future crusades. Of course, you're the leader. You shouldn't be doing it all yourself, so you can have your cult members have tasks to tend to while you manage other things alone or out on a crusade. You can also have them pray to your temple to gain faith. Enough faith will grant an upgrade to unlock other buildings that will make your life a whole lot easier. Entering what I think is the most important area of the game, and that is the temple. This is where you can enact a sermon which, depending on how many and each level of follower you have, you'll gain points that will grant you a level up and an upgrade for you to be stronger on your crusades. You, of course, can level up your followers by giving them praise and base buildings, giving them gifts, or by doing quests for a follower that could be completed in the base or on a crusade, and that even includes force feeding your followers to eat a meal that is just poop from your followers. You can also declare a new commandment, which gives you a choice between 2 different rituals that you can perform throughout the game. You gain commandment stone fragments by leveling up your followers or even finding them during a crusade. You can also equip your different fleeces and gain very important upgrades that can even grant second lives, with a price, of course. You gain access to each of these after each bishop slain. You get to eat their hearts, which you could call cool. Then of course you can perform a ritual which can range from bonfires, feasts, and even sacrificing your followers. You can even tell your followers to murder each other. A range of everything. All rituals have different positives for you and your cult, and you'll need to choose the best time for each one due to their cooldown times and if the resource that is required is limited. With you having the option to choose between 2 different rituals with each commandment, that gives the opportunity for each run-through of the game to be completely different from the last, making replayability very high of this game. It really helps you make the option of if you want to be a very nice ruler where you give to your followers, or to be a more selfish one where you take from them and view yourself as kind of their god. You also have access to other areas apart from your base, each one opening different side quests for you to focus on. They also each have different shops to buy decorations for your base, and a shop to unlock tarot cards for you to find on your next crusade. There are even some mini games that you can find in these areas, like a dice game where you go against other NPCs that you can find in the dungeons. And there's even fishing, because of course, every good base builder has to have fishing. Have you played Final Fantasy? Has to have fishing. Overall, I enjoyed the base building part of this game. I sometimes would spend more time managing my cult rather than progressing in my path of taking down each bishop. There was a part near the end of my playthrough though, where I unlocked each building and earned each upgrade and ritual in the temple. At that point, I started to not really care to spend as much time at the base and focus on just finishing the game. Thankfully, I built up enough resources to keep my villagers alive and happy as I progressed on. Playing through this game, I could tell the amount of care that went into the final product. The amount of personality that is in this game, from the music, the very distinct voices of each character and follower, the intensity that is brought out in each boss fight, especially the bishops. It wasn't even until I was editing this review and doing some research where I realized the company that developed this game, Massive Monster, is an indie company with a crew barely cracking the double digits. This is wildly impressive to me because to me it never felt like an indie title. There were hardly any recognizable bugs in this game. The only issues that I even had that I could even remember at this point is my frame rate would be a little weird whenever I went to an upgrade tree, and there was one or two times where it'd say that my people were sick and they weren't. But at the same time, it's it never ruined the quality of life that I was having while playing this game. Trying a new type of game, of course, worried me, especially to stream it to people that I don't know. I was worried I wouldn't be invested, or I would just get bored halfway through and would finish it just because I was streaming it. And of course I was surprised that the game was able to keep my interest almost the whole way, with always having something to work towards, either in base or out on a crusade. The only point where I was in autopilot would be again near the end, where I had almost everything I wanted maxed out. Making the base building part an afterthought and finishing the run was the only priority I had. And especially since I didn't need my followers to level up anymore, I would even just decline all the requests that they would bring to me, because there was no benefit for me because I didn't need to level up. Only thing I needed was numbers of followers to unlock the final locations. Pros and cons aside though, I would recommend this to most of my friends, even the ones who don't normally play these kind of games, mainly because neither did I before this one, and now I am open to not only other roguelikes but other genres I haven't visited before. Now, to have a callback to the beginning of the video, the way that I am ranking these reviews is besides the main story, because that is what I am pretty much saying that I will finish to do a review, but also how much is the game pulling me in to want to do more. That being said, overall, I would give Cult of the Lamb an 8 out of 10. And I would totally play it again in the future. And it's not a full 10 for me, mainly because I never felt the need to complete more side quests after getting the specific fleece that I wanted. And, of course, after getting all the upgrades, there isn't much to focus on apart from finishing each location to finish the run. And when I was done with the run, I didn't feel the need to carry on. I kind of just ended stream and decided to go on this review. But there's also a Twitch feature that I didn't use on this one because, I don't have a huge following on Twitch. But in the future, if I do get a bigger following, I would be more than happy to do another playthrough of this to use the Twitch features in this, which I also think is awesome that they included that. All of this is, of course, just my opinion, so please just take it with a grain of salt. I want to emphasize I mainly play games casually and I'm someone that can just easily lose interest. If this is your 10 out of 10, I believe you. This is a good game. And if you didn't like this game, I also believe you, because it does have its flaws. It's just, they didn't bug me as much. Streaming myself playing games has kind of helped the whole casual gamer part of myself. It has helped me keep my word of finishing a game. Because before this, I probably finished 20 games in my whole life of playing. I'm 27. There should be way more games that I've finished on this. So my goal for streaming and this channel is just play more games and finish more games. Whether I'm not having the best time in the world, I want to get to the end of a game, because then I can actually have an actual opinion on it. And if you want proof of that, maybe you should come join us on Twitch. The link is in the description. And this may be a way for me to get to my goal over there. I want to get to 50 followers. And when I do, I plan on doing a run through Dark Souls, which I have never played a Souls-like game before, because I honestly thought if I would just rage quit and get super mad. But now that I'm streaming, hey, that's content. So if that's something that you want to see, go over to my Twitch, follow. That way you can watch all the anger and anguish that I will go through. I'll probably set a challenge on there to keep me loyal, because I don't know if I'll do a review on Dark Souls, because I honestly don't know if I will be capable of finishing it. So I'll figure out something to make sure that I actually give it the actual try. But yeah, come join us on Twitch. Also, subscribe to this channel. this is going to be the place where I post all the VODs from Twitch if you're not able to catch us live. And of course, like the edited videos that you're watching right now. But anyways, thanks for watching. And I'll see you either next time over there or on here. But yeah, see you guys next time, and thanks for watching.